Hello everyone, my name's Yita Jazz, and today we are going to do a reading about what your next step is. Exciting, isn't it? Yeah, as always, I am prepping the decks as I'm gonna talk. So, season shift, new moon or full moon, new moon? I think it's a new moon soon. 14th of March. Anyway, there's gonna also be eclipse. I can't remember. I think it's a solar one starting this month. And then, solstice. Like there's a lot of shifts happening. There's a lot of changes happening. There's a lot of things just moving around in the cosmos as well as with us personally. In terms of seasons, if it's not springtime for you, it's moving into, I guess, autumn, right? I think so. I'm not really good with the southern hemisphere, I'm gonna be honest. Um, but either way, things are moving around. Life is changing around, and I think the next move thing is just a helpful little reading we can have for ourselves. So let us get into it and see what comes about. Um, let's have some fun and just, see what's gonna occur. See what's gonna happen. Which decks are we using? I think we're gonna go with the oracles over here, and then we're gonna leave like tarot and everything else to the side. I'm very particular, and I need to have things in a certain place in order. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I also could do this off camera, but no. So this is kind of just coming across as like an overall message for us. The Smoky Mirror is a card always talking to me about sitting still in the confusion and letting the clarity come to you, realizing your own internal truth and wisdom, and having that illuminate you even in the confusion of life and what is occurring or not occurring or how shit is just happening. It also, to me, talks to connecting to the higher self, and it's a mastery card just because of the 47. 47 in general is a really big number. In my eyes, it's a very particularly interesting number, especially if it's your ascension path number or you have like it's kind of just one of those numbers for you. But also, yeah, find your Buddha within and let yourself gain clarity from that because even though things are mystifyingly confusing or just in general, maybe even hectic, right? Maybe things are falling apart and it's like, when are they going to come together? Just trust yourself in the process and find your own peace within the shifts and the changes because you can be the stillness you need to just see the next step. We don't really need to see the whole entire journey in life. We just need to be okay with where we are and how we hold ourselves and look after ourselves, even if it's really chaotic or confusing. So I feel like also we're gonna check this out. So the Crow and Taming the Wind. Check into the vibe of the cards if you want. Um, kind of on a basic level, it's transforming your state of mind. Yet again, like it's literally reaffirming the same message, transforming your frame of mind so you can have more peace in it with all of the confusing details that are in and around you, in and around your space. So trust yourself because you are the master of your own fate and destiny, and life is happening with you, for you, to you, even though it don't seem that way, and you are the warrior of your own story, and also the mystic and the, seer and the experiencer. You'll make it through, even if it doesn't look that way. All right, so I thought we were having like more than four, but we are only having four. So yeah, the reading's going to be about figuring out the beautiful way of getting through the shifts and changes currently occurring. And if you want to pick, go ahead and pick one right now, because I'm about to flip them. flipping one, flipping two, flipping three, and flipping four. So these are the piles. We have Vision Quest, Standstill, Reversed, Rattle Upright, and Ancient Ones reversed as well. So depending on which one you want to go to, go and have that. Go select the pile. And I'll start with one, and I'll see you over there. Hello, pile number one. So you have chosen Vision Quest, and the messages and vibe I'm getting from it is you are on your path with your soul's purpose and soul's destiny. The ride here has not been easy. It's all been confusing. Things are falling apart. They're not making sense. You want it to be done and over with so you can come into your like most powerful self and just move on and do the thing. But things are taking a slow approach, or maybe at some points it even feels like a standstill because you are meant to have it completely evened out perfect so you get the result you want, so it doesn't elude you or run away or get away, or you don't get lost again because you are on a path of a deep soul's, you know I don't know, coming to home evolution path type of vibe, right? It is it isn't as simple as like just getting the manifestations that you want and then just learning from them or through them. It is you kind of incarnating with a specific reason and then having that lead you through your life into the result you really desire, and you're crossing all the T's, you're dotting all the I's, you're making sure of everything. It is a nitpicky process and a bit tedious and strenuous at times, but you are perfectly in place. You're doing everything fine. It is about to happen. It is about to come to. It's just the slow stance before it is making sure everything is there for you. And if it's not, what is the other next best thing? What is the particular physical manifestation? Because the energy is perfectly in line. You are in line. It's just, the best thing you can do is enjoy yourself the most you can, even if you're in an uncomfortable place. And that's not easy to do. It's not easy to suggest or talk about even, but you have incarnated with a particular idea in mind, or a particular essence and contract and just a whole lifestyle, and it is happening. It is happening, but it's important for you to take it back a notch and understand that it's coming to. Slowly but surely, you're getting there, and spirit is currently, if anything is like being held from you, if something isn't happening quite yet, if you're not like getting the results you want, it's because you are about to literally go through a shift and a change you will never be able to come back from as a individual, in how you feel, think, who is around you, where you're living, what you're doing. You will not go back. It will be impossible, and it's kind of like being made sure of as well, because you wouldn't want to go back. You don't also want something to come in and tamper with it on the last like minute, right? You don't want someone to hitch a ride on you or something. You want to go through this door and be done with it and live your new life, fulfilling your wishes, fulfilling your dreams, fulfilling your life's ambitions. And this is happening for you, to you, and it's okay to be frustrated at the process, but make the most out of it, because sometimes when we are, feeling through our feelings, we might prolong the process that is occurring, or we might stagnate our own experience, or we might accidentally dig a bit of a hole that we need to come out of later on just before we move on. So whatever that is for you, try and enjoy yourself the most you can so you really reap the fruits of your labor when the time is coming about. Yeah, don't hold on to anything currently. Even if you like it or want it, look at your attachments instead of trying to make them, more stable or purposeful or meaningful. I do feel like you've already kind of done a lot of the overview work that was necessary, but if you're feeling frustrated or unhappy with the scenario and situation, it is a case of like, what else do you need to look at so you're not frustrated and you trust yourself, you trust the process, and you have faith in the universe or your spiritual guidance and team, right? Because Yeah, you're not coming back from this decision. It's I don't think you're confused though. That's the thing. I think you kind of see everything very clearly. You're not holding on to anything. You're not suspended. It's just, I guess, yet again saying like come back to that awareness and clarity and trust yourself if you are upset. But for most of you, you might not even be upset about any of it. You're just so ready to go. You're kind of like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it's like, relax, breathe in, make some tea. I mean, okay, so both fronts are right. You've done really well. You're very aware, but you are avoiding something, or an end needs to happen before this comes into point, right? So, but I feel like a lot of you are annoyed about something, and this Four of Cups is the card of attachments. Wow, you have basically endings on endings. So very, very, very big. This is a really big transformation for the point of view, actually. Like, yeah, really big transformation. For the point of actual, like, complete satisfaction and having everything you really want and stuff that would actually be long-term happiness, that would be fulfilling and secure, and would make you really feel that way. It wouldn't just be a fleeting experience or just a fake, like, look about it, it would be a real experience of it, and you would have like community with it as well, and a collaboration that would also be coming with it. That would be super invigorating. It would actually like be kind of like a beginning of a community you never had, is also a feeling I'm getting. And you've not had a lot of support at all in bringing you to this point, or bridging this a whole experience and transformation for you. Like you have not had support. You've had people try and undermine you and undo you. You haven't had people try and help and support you. It's really weird. Oh, this card, never mind. It's just, yeah. There's something weird about the Three of Pentacles. I feel like there's something still trying to go against this process, and I'm not saying it's you. In this case, it feels like there's just something trying to kind of like salt this shit up, and you're not giving in to it. I can see that you are trying to keep your peace as much as you can, but you also don't like the feeling that things aren't moving forward. And the other part about it that's annoying is kind of like there's still something to be processed, because you do feel that energy of either being triggered or upset or like not wanting to look at something, but that is where the liberating feeling is hidden. That's where the last step is. It feels like you need to come to terms with something before you have a physical altercation, and then the ending is in full motion. And everything comes full circle for you and kind of moving through that portal or that shift and having that new world. But there's still an ending that needs to happen. And at first, it needs to happen with your own self. And internally, there needs to be a confidence and an accepting and a letting go. I can see you've been through a lot. It's kind of like, I don't want to be doing this anymore. I just want to go. But this is yet again essential, because this is the last step. One, this is the last step. Two, when you're going to feel ready and prepared, it'll make it easier for the thing that needs to happen and just flow through and happen without upsetting you, triggering you, or accidentally pushing you down off of the last step to like, the 3 or 4 steps before the ending. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to go there. The only reason you don't want to necessarily like you've released everything you need to physically. You've released everything you needed to in terms of I don't know, attachments, items, contracts, living arrangements, people around you even. Maybe you've sold your car or something, right? Um, but the thing that you're avoiding and not doing is emotional. It's deeper and it's spiritual. It's an energetic tie, and everything is energy. That's where reality manifests from, and it's really it needs to start with your own mind and heart, or heart and mind and soul first, before it can really manifest as that exchange of like the final ending to cut everything apart so nothing is attached to you, nothing is holding on to you, and you don't have unresolved things that need closure. Um, and how you'll know that that's the core truth of reality of things is like you won't feel uneasy, you won't feel disgruntled, you won't feel on edge like when is it happening or whatever. You'll just feel like everything is kind of empty. Decisions were made, everything has come to or is about to come to, but you feel confident about it, and it's kind of just like spending your time as you will before you completely transition and let it all go and happen. Um, because yeah, I can see that yes, something or someone doesn't want you to leave the predicament or the circumstance you're in, but also the only reason it's so annoying is because you're looking at that exchange, you're looking at that community or that past that you've had, and you're not accepting the emotional transformation that would need to occur currently in a bit more of like just a personal space, an internal um, view, from where you can then feel that transformation inside of you and say, okay, I'm done, fuck that, or whatever your conclusion is, and let things take their time and play out as they may. And yeah, have that final closing of the door, have that final, oh, this was the thing. I didn't even know or notice. I thought I ended everything. I thought I said like my goodbyes and my do's, and I thought I was done with it. It's like things, as much as we want them to happen a certain way, if they're so big like this, they need to happen on, as it said, God's time, on divine timing. Because there's a lot of other things at play, you're perfect. You've done everything right. I think it's just painful to admit that, like, personally, you still have unresolved feelings because you definitely cared for something or loved something or invested in something. You've had good times or celebrations that feel like they were for nothing. You've had, trusted people do something against you or behind your back that you weren't expecting, and now it's created this undesired ending where you kind of wanted to transform and transition with them, but they aren't doing the work, and instead they're creating a little bit of like nonsense and drama that isn't affecting you, but is definitely making you feel a certain way that needs to be faced. And I think you know what it is. You just don't want to be suspended in that energy no more. You don't want to be thinking about it. You don't want to be looking at it. You just don't want to be feeling it. And I get it. I really do. Um, but it's time, if you're gonna go away and never need to look back, right? Do you really want this little tiny bit hanging over you and being like a bit of a sour pot or a freaking shadow on the amazing greatness that you achieve and create and you've created and achieved already, right? It's kind of like sometimes when we get to those points and periods of success and victory and everything is different, we might not feel the way we thought we were going to feel about it, right? And that is usually because we skip to the end. We're just like, I did everything. Okay, that's it. I did everything. I'm just gonna sit here and wait patiently and like let it happen, and I'll be fine. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to look at anything, which is understandable. So much has happened. Why would you? Why should you want to, right? But it really does leave like a sour taste or a wrong taste with the success. And everything can be perfect, but within you, that part stays. It is somewhere lodged, hidden, and you tried your best to keep it away from you, right? To not look into it, to not have it consume you in the process of like such a big transformation already, where you just had your focus on having it done right. But this is part of having it done right. It's uncomfortable. It's a bit of negative feelings pouring out, but as it said, sometimes you need to pour out everything you got to get what you need, right? You to fill your cup, you gotta pour out what's there first. And this is like the last cup you need to pour out so you can get your 10 of cups when the time is gonna be right. Um, it's just the last one. It's the last one. And it is about relationships or people or celebrations or the good times you've had or something not being what it looked like in terms of what you were investing into, in terms of community vibes, or personal values of some sort, something that really did matter to you emotionally and was a big aspect of your life. But you can do it. I feel like, spirit, God, your own universe, your spirit team has your back and your best interests at heart, and they will treat you as nice as they can to help you through this. But it is about how are you treating yourself and that part of you? How are you talking to it? What are you saying to it? Because it kind of there's a bit of a vibe that you might be pushing it into a closet and saying, stay there, don't ever come out again. It's like that part of you is coming with you. You can't leave it behind in a closet. It will be within you. It's just then you're not going to see it anymore, and then you're going to keep feeling its uneasiness or agitation, or just that disease is just gonna like really drive you up the wall at some points when you could just be having the time of your life. And it'll be, inescapable in a way that it's kind of like you're gonna need to use that whole entire new cycle you start to work through it instead of like this ending bit that is about to completely end forever, right? Being that opportunity where you completely let your own internal bygones be bygones, and you took the opportunity to find that ultimate peace, even though it didn't feel right or comfortable, or you were alone doing it, or it was just, it felt like a bit of a waste. And I don't know, a waste of what? I don't think it's like just time, opportunity, or energy or whatever, but it feels like admitting the point that something was a waste. And that pain having like, space within your heart, or like that pain being something that really stuck out within you, and just needing to face that and give it some love. So, yeah. I hope you take this chance and really releasing it and letting it go and spending that time with yourself before you completely move on. Because if you give into it, it won't be that long. It won't take as much effort, and it won't be as hard. And I think this is also a slight warning of like it won't, take away the manifestation. It won't stop the stream from coming in. You've done too much to have that happen, but it might leave you in the energy of the Four of Cups. It might leave you sitting by that tree and having this hang over your head until like the next opportunity you'll get to completely let it go and finish it. And it's like you have the perfect like Trinity triangle, I don't know, assortment, as just assembly here, the perfect opportunity chance in life to just let it be gone and do it. Yeah, you gotta keep your ass suspended a little bit before that goes, right? But once the death train rolls in, you'll be frickin' peachy. You'll be fine and just wave on goodbye and have this actual peaceful experience of like a happy melancholy or a peaceful nostalgia, where it's kind of like looking back and letting it go and accepting what was for what it was, for the good and the bad of it, instead of just having it loom over you somewhere out of view where you can't quite see it, right? Because even in the Four of Cups, the person literally can't see the cup and it's right in front of their face. So it's kind of like an emotion that would constantly be there, but you couldn't speak to it, you couldn't define it. And I don't think you want your Ten of Cups and one of those cups being tainted that way. I don't think you want that cup to come with you. It's better to pour it out, have it empty, and when the time will be right and it'll come, fill it back up with something way better, you know? You're ready for this. You definitely are. It's definitely coming in. Um, it's just this is the recommendation from the universe, God, and whatever else you believe in for you to not be afraid of your own process and your own self and the emotions behind it. I think it might be the hardest cup of them all is what's also coming across. This might be the most difficult, sensitive, personal, close to home, old, disgruntled feeling and pain you might have out of all of them. And it's understandable why you'd want to just rush ahead ignoring it, but if you pull the roots out, those roots will never bear fruit. Those roots will never consume you. Those roots will never corrupt another aspects of your life or your being or your feeling or how you view things. It'll bring things together in a better way and build you up into something stronger. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for having a reading with me. If it does help, leave a like, please. Thank you. And if you want to see more of me, I do streams down below. You can find the links for that and gaming and other stuff. And yeah, have a good one. I wish you the very best in whatever you go through and whatever happens for you or to you, I guess. So, peace. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome in to your reading. Have the standstill. And yeah, I don't know what it's about yet. I guess we're also not doing tarot quite yet. Not yet, anyways. Yeah. You might be getting a lot of weird interference, because that's what I'm getting and what I got just before I started like this reading. So you might be getting distracted. You might be thinking about people randomly. You might be thinking about them talking to you randomly. You might be having them message you out of the fucking blue. You might just be having in general movement coming at you from weird angles in weird ways that's not just unexpected, but is actually like distracting. Yeah, that's what it's coming to. Okay. I mean, from these cards, top and bottom too. Okay, so it's definitely kind of we're still gonna pull more cards, but as it's coming across is like you need to flow through the limitations you have of your own mind and psyche and shadow because currently you're kind of like having yourself distract yourself in a way. It's kind of like something is keeping you away from success because you yourself are not wanting to face a very much dark aspect of your life. Very much maybe it's like a personal healing as well. It's like you need to go through these depths. Um, so time can start moving the way it's supposed to again as well. I don't know if time has been too fast or too slow for you or looping. It feels like your cycle keeps looping. And you're like, why is this happening to me? I don't want to be here. That's because you're not taking the time you need to look at where you're at before you go through the doorway. And the doorway is gonna be like it's gonna be glass, it's gonna be see-through, and it's gonna be really annoying because you're gonna keep looking at the other side and what you want to do and how you want to shift and where you want to go and what you want to change, and then you keep being kept away from it and you can't do it. And then there's also this manifestation energy of like distraction, 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 because it is a very deep, dark aspect of you. It is kind of painful as well. And I want to say it's dark in the point that you would not see yourself the same way as you usually do. I don't know if you've built up a persona or you expect yourself to always like carry yourself in a certain way or say or do things in a sense that is like, the best possible view of you or the best assortment of all of your aspects and sides and different quirks and characters or characteristics, but it's like you're prolonging the inevitable. You're not letting yourself flow, and all you need to do to let this happen is to let it happen. To go there, to be that, to yell, get angry, scream, say some shit. Really, just don't hold back from the experience you need to have with your own self. Let yourself say those things, think those things, feel those things. Keep it flowing. Don't get stagnant or stuck by something. Don't start judging it. Don't start shaping it in a better way or shifting the way you're talking or like changing the dialogue or thinking like I should or I would or I could or I needn't or need or whatever. Like don't limit yourself and don't tell yourself who or what you are. Let that let the truth of what you are and who you are come to you and speak to you. Let it come up from the shadows, from the depths. Don't think you're bad from it, for it, or from it. Hmm. Don't 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 think you're bad for it or that you need to run away from it. Don't think you're like, yeah, you're better than it because you're saying that you're better than who you are is what it's feeling like. And you are who you are. You can't change the stripes of a tiger or a freaking zebra. They have those stripes for a reason, you know? They're essential for them. That's their truth, their authenticity. That's their power as well. That's their unique quality. I don't know, maybe zebras or striped animals or whatever is coming across as like a regular thing for you. Big cats is also coming across. Striped animals, I don't know. Black and white, like duh, 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 duh. You have both. I don't know if you also like resent a part of either your masculine side or feminine side, or if you're inherently, one gender or a person that identifies as one gender, that you literally attack a part of you, or like your own masculinity or femininity, you disrespect and trample it, and you try and make it out to be something it's not. And it's like you have your unique expression of that. You shouldn't say that it's good or bad or keep it away from your own self because of whatever the reason is. You need to figure that out is how it's coming across. If you want to cross this threshold, if you want to go where you want to go, you got to sit right now and let like it all flow out of you. You need to take that time. You need to not rush it. You need to accept that this is the conclusion of the cycle you've been through, and the realization of it is very important and valuable of you understanding like your whole full nature, and then the potential will come. But if you don't know who you are, how can you embody that potential? How can you really live that life you desire if you don't know who you are, how you are, Like you dream the right things, you feel the right things, you think the right things, but you're literally stuffing a whole part of you into a freaking basket saying like you're a basket case. You're the wrong thing. You're not it. I don't like you. And it's like, it's time for you to really look at those thoughts and beliefs and ask, where did they come from? Do you really even think that way? Do you really believe that? Or are you just saying that because someone told you that, or someone showed you it to be that way, or made you afraid of it, or forced you to be a certain type of whatever this is, essentially stopping your own growth, your own uniqueness, color, natural flavor, but also like the evolution of whatever that is, right? That bigger scope or whatever. Because whatever this is, society, it feels like society keeps it in a box and labels it a certain way and says that it's either good or bad, never letting people escape the reality that they are their own creators and shepherds of whatever it is, whatever that style of their own self is, whatever their unique expression is. Instead, it's kind of like society makes people ashamed of it, and you've really went through a blunt, like a big blunt experience of it. I don't know, it feels like it's been a big narration behind your whole identity, and it's scary to admit that you might be something or someone that society really judges or proclaims as like this or that, or society is going to keep you away from like your true expression because they're afraid of you, or they think that you're bad for it, or and you aren't. You're a lovely, like caring, strong individual and soul that really has something special about them, or you have a uniqueness that is actually supposed to be more popular than it is, but if you look at society, really, they do instigate, like people do instigate fear, obsession, and anger and violence more so than they do, for example, freaking love, right? And support and colorful, unique personas and etc. If it's done right, then we will accept it. If it's in that part of the world or this part of the world, then it's okay. But if it's here, no, 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 and not in my backyard, like we will make you ashamed of it. It's like an example I have is like drag queens. So you're gonna yell about drag queens, but then you're going to go to a drag show with your wife on frickin' Wednesday and frickin' laugh your ass off and be like, "This is the greatest time of my life." But then if you're going to see your like son be a drag queen, you're gonna shame them into submission and tell them they're fucked up for like being gay, and they might not even be gay. They might be just drag, which is it's a particular like difference. It's unique. Um, Not everyone that's drag is gay, and vice versa. Like this could be something to do with like an orientation of some sort. I don't know. If it feels that personal though. If it is homosexuality, my heart goes out with you to you. I have no, yeah, I have no idea what you're going through, but regardless, like the world isn't quite safe for that quite yet, or doesn't feel that way, right? Even in places where it is safe. So I don't know what this is, but it's to that extent of like you have a whole side to you that you're putting in a freaking closet. It could be a personality, a character, a hobby, an interest, an intrigue, an orientation, um, a philosophy, a belief. Like spiritualists have a spiritual closet. I've been in one for most of my life. It fucking sucked. Um, and even if people support you in some aspects of it, right? They might be keeping you away from your full expression of it or your full potential for it. Whatever it is, right now is a make it or break it kind of situation. If you prolong this shift and change of you really sitting in this vibe of what you keep in the shadows hidden to yourself, and maybe you've even grown up to like now ignore it with time, right? You're not acknowledging it as much as when you were younger, for example, because of whatever reason. You might start a whole new cycle of this whole running away from yourself vibe. I don't know how long you have. I heard a month for some of y'all. End of the month. I would say at least 2, 3 weeks if you are watching this at any point, either at the very complete ending of a month or just it's a weird ambiguous time of a middle of the month or whatever. Because these are timeless, like, but it's a month. It's something around 2 weeks to a month. Maybe it's about to be your birthday, right? Maybe it's a season change. Whatever the next cycle feeling for you is, And it could be like you're about to start a new job, you're about to move, you're like whatever that big cycle change is for you, that's a life shift, right? A period of that. Maybe it's literally a moon cycle. Sit down and really face it, because you might really regret going another round of this, and it might be, depending on the stars and other aspects of your life, it could be a month, it could be, no, sorry, not a month, a year, it could be a few years though, right? Um, it could be whatever amount of time it is. If you're really unlucky, it could be like 10, 12, 15 years. It's not really clear to me because you are all in a different vibe of a cycle. But this feels like a big cycle. This feels like years. Like if you don't shift and change right now, you might commit to a fucked up marriage type of thing. Um, or if you don't shift and change right now, you might mess up and choose like a study you're gonna hate and stuff like that. You don't need to ignore me anymore. I'm your friend. And I felt that because I felt like literally a freaking pinching here. I felt the pinching and a pulling, and I'm like, who the heck is doing that? And it's like, you don't need to ignore me anymore. I'm your friend, is what's coming across. I'm not gonna make you feel unsafe no more. It wasn't me to begin with, it was these people, and you're not gonna be around these people, but you can invite the same type if you don't do this right now. Please do this right now. Please shift. Please change. So that's just a channeling that came in for someone. Please do this thing. Please, please, please. We don't want to be here in X amount of years anymore. Like we're done. We can ship. We can change. We can grow up the way we always wanted to, and we don't need to feel ashamed over it or whatever. So. This is a big spiritual thing as well. I think this is just like some extra details for flavor because I feel like if anything like this should be obvious and hit home. Be as nurturing as you can to yourself. Be as caring and motherly and just like support yourself, hold yourself through this whole entire like experience is one thing, but another part is know you can do this. Know you're powerful and a badass, and you're in the right to do this. You're all right. You're right as a being, as a person. And also, this is a spiritual occurrence. Like, this is a deep healing or purging, either like societally or maybe it's just lining up with the cycles of the planet or the moon or something, or like there's a big group of consciousness, i.e., like people across the world are going through this and you're a part of that collective, and it's important, like, and also no one wants to leave you behind. It's kind of like neither your guides or ancestors want you to stay where you are. And if you think all of your ancestors are against you, no, there's some that are going to be definitely freaking assholes, but there's so many of them that are supporting you because you're the beginning of something new that they couldn't ever conceive. I feel like there's something coming across a little bit with the Islamic like tradition or um religion here or those places of Earth. So if you're from there or you have some type of connection there, this is especially like somehow like calling out to you, like, please do this because the society is never gonna change, is what I'm hearing or feeling as part of the message. Like you can't be just subdued as who you are forever. Like that's how this is always gonna stay the same way. And if you need to do it in a certain different way, do it in the way that's safe for you, but just do it. Like just do it, at least so you're honest with yourself and you don't feel guilty and ashamed and in pain, and like you're never fully truly who you are. So go through that darkness. You're ready for it. And take your time. Yeah. Thank you for getting this reading. I hope it helps you. Let me know with a like, and also if you want to see more of me, I have a link tree down below. Thank you so much for viewing this. I really wish the very best for you in whatever you're going through and wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Yeah, my wishes and prayers are with you. So, peace. See you next time. Hello. Yeah, you have more cards, pile number three. I just like shuffled after finishing the last pile, and these flipped the frick out and flopped down, and I'm like, what are they? Because they're very much reflecting each other. They're very much connected. I haven't seen them together all that much, and I've been using this deck for like 2 years or 3 years now. And I heard this is for the next pile. Have them here, and yes, they are reversed. And we have the rattle, so we're gonna delve into it. I don't know. I feel like they need to be like here though, which is weird and interesting. And yeah, I think this is like the placement of the cards. So we're gonna get into what the heck this is about, but I'm guessing this is about healing as you're like retrieving a part of yourself that you have really like chipped off, cut away, and buried deep within yourself. And this is like talking to that process. So you can actually express yourself and be who you really are. And as much as this is like a emotional and personal power type of thing with your own like personal identity an imprint on the world, right? This is also talking about to it being a deeper thing. It is a personal soul calling. It is a personal soul tie. It's your own signature of the soul, and this is an energetical frequency shift. This is an energetical purging. This is like a soul retrieval, as it's literally coming out. And it is a deep healing in family lineage and ancestry, and also astrally. So astrally is it can happen in your dreams. It can happen when you're meditating. It can happen just plainly when you're going through your life and out of nowhere you can feel like, let's say, a certain emotion start washing over you, and it also has this weird like stagnant like weight or pain in one of your body parts, like in your hand or at your feet or in your stomach or something, and you just randomly have it come up and happen. It could be, your throat, your chest, whatever it is. Um, and you can't continue doing anything until you face it and do it. And it's like, do I need to call the freaking doctors and ambulance? It's like, no. Stop what you're doing, feel through it, and like be present and let yourself have that weird moment and transformation. You might feel a little bit mentally, unstable you for a moment. I'm not a doctor. This is just for entertainment. But it also could be like a very deeply healing experience if you like trust yourself and go through that. Um, Instead of fighting it off, because I feel like this pile, you're hard workers that have been on the go, 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 go. You're very grounded, you're down to earth, you're very practical and realistic. You also understand that there's something deeper in the world and unseen, but I feel like most of you believe that like no one can really have a grasp on it or really tune into it in the way that we could make a practical assessment or reality and like data from it. We can't like get proper quantified or like quality data. We only can grasp at straws and just make up stuff as we go instead of like really getting to the freaking blunt or the essence and the point of it. And it's funny because you're having deep healing in that aspect of where it is a personal practical experience that you can't argue. If you've had it, you've had it. How can you explain you being sick and the 20, 30 minutes of you crying your eyes out in bed, out of nowhere, you're not sick anymore. The temperature from like 20, like 30, 38 to 39 dropped down to 36.6. Bang like that, it's done. You're not sick no more. You go to the doctors, everything else, you have no complications. It's just gone. And they don't know why, but or they'll explain it in a certain way that's gonna make sense or be like, you're healthy. Just get out the door. You're fine. We don't need to worry about you. We got jobs, to do like with other people that are sick, and you're just left there scratching your head like, I was really messed up, like really messed up, and then it just shifted like that. Or you start feeling the emotional weight of certain things. You know how people have that expression and experience of like I can feel the pain on my heart, right? And there is actually such a thing as broken heart syndrome. And people die from it. That's a real thing. Or when you have people literally going through severe insanity, mania, or depression on the verge of breakdown over breakdown over breakdown, right? And then it kind of 49 as I'm saying this, but um, they face it or sit with it, talk it out with someone, or talk it out with, you know, universe, God, whatever, and they start feeling slightly better and slightly better, or maybe completely better, right? And then they go out and see a bunch of weird signs out on every billboard, every car, and whatever. And it's like connecting the dots to them. It makes sense. It's like this one thing that just out of nowhere shifted and transformed. And they feel like this invisible force is seeing them and supporting them and like letting them know it's okay and it's getting better or something, right? And they were just on the verge of losing it all, mentally or emotionally. Um, I had another example, but I feel like those are enough for us to keep on going and just have this conversation. So, yeah, it feels like you're gonna have something like that, and that is your next step to really achieving something great in your life in terms of like a personal like power and a deep voice to be known, to be heard, or like an impactful like presence that is definitely going to shift things in courtrooms. I just heard. I don't know why I wanted to say courtrooms, but courtrooms, business meetings, or business meetings in hotels also came across. A lot of synchronicities are going to be happening. A lot of symbols are going to come across. It's like you're going to see that the universe is definitely sentient and communicating with you, and has for some reason just picked you up or chosen you to just like have a vibe with you that is personal to you. You will sound crazy if you talk about it to certain people, if not most. You will think you're crazy yourself because you're just imagining connections where they're not. Look, if the connections weren't there and they weren't coincidental, you wouldn't say that they are crazy to begin with because they wouldn't be there. You can't hallucinate that stuff. You can't make it up. Yeah, people like connecting things that are unrelated, and that's where you need to have like a higher mind and judgment and critical thought as well as intuition, especially if it's spiritual, because you can have messed up beings send you signs and you think, oh, that's, you know, higher self or God or universe speaking to me, and it's like, nah, that's like a messed up ghost or like ancestor messing up with you or something else, right? But in this case, it feels like literally it'll be so particular that you won't be able to escape the point that you're adding stuff up that's meant to be added up because even if you want to fight it, it's gonna just start yelling louder at you and appearing louder and louder and louder and louder, and you will not be able to fight it off anymore. It won't be something you can argue. It will be like, okay, look, I might have said coincidences are coincidences, and you know, don't make up stuff on the fly when you have stuff like add up like this and etc. But I swear these synchronicities are like messing with me. Like they are real. Like I can't ignore it anymore. And you might have like a sensitive moment there with that. Don't worry. When it's universe or like God energy or source energy or whatever you believe in, that is a higher energy or higher power, you know, the benevolence of all, the cosmos that connects us all. This is like really weird to talk through because I feel like I have bubbles of air in my freaking whole entire stomach and they're stuck in my chest. And it's really uncomfortable. Like I want to move it, I can't move it. It's pissing me off. Coming back to, you might have weird physical experiences. Oh, and weird pains and weird like side effects. It's okay. Vibrations, hearing frequencies, sounds you haven't heard before, but now you are sensitive enough to feel and hear them. but mostly I feel like it might be weird breathing, weird digestion, and something with constipation. Um, yeah, careful with your diet, I would recommend. Like, eat stuff that you can digest so it helps you digest this, because this, like, digestion issues usually in energy come across when we have difficult emotions or realizations and information to digest that we can't or is hard for us to digest. Like, it's hard to process and it's hard to think over and mull over. It's hard to get to the conclusion that is going to be good and healthy for us and make us feel like we're grounded, stable, and like with it, like conscious, like cognizant, like actually clear as people, right? Not up the wally insane or whatever. So yeah, eating in general is a grounding practice that can help you digest thoughts and emotions, especially depending on what you eat and how you eat and the diet that you follow. So if you might need to go out of your realm of norm with that or eat specific things, maybe avoid fasting, because if you fast when this is happening, that energy gets stuck. It keeps looping and happening because it's harder to ground this out and not like have it consume you if you're not eating. It's easier when it's in a solid form that's automatically happening for you with your body. I feel like this might be a religious issue for some of you, so this is just a recommendation. Um, but I feel like you should consider that recommendation just in case if you're going to start having weird physical experiences, symptoms, or maybe even, medical visits and stuff like that. Look after yourself, please. Yet again, entertainment reasons only. The readings I do are not medically or professionally inclined. Um, yeah, this is like gonna open you up. This is gonna open you up in who you really are, how you really feel, what you really think, and how you've always hidden that behind these doors of being calculated, proper, societally accepted. Something about climbing the ranks or getting up that ladder, corporate ladder, or getting ahead of the rat race, right? Usually, when you're trying to fit in that scheme or place or way, it's because you're trying to get a leg up in society or being more superior in a way where you are safe, not superior in just an egoistical way. Not everyone. Like it's more like I want to feel affluent, powerful. I want to have the money I need to make it through life. I need to be this way, and I'm gonna put myself in a freaking bag or slash in, I'm gonna just like subdue this other part of myself so I can achieve and get results and have the profit I need to make it through life in a successful manner and be victorious. Um, and I feel like you've really took away from your relation to spirit and to the universe, but you're so smart that you've always had like this weird conscious exchange or like you've seen it like a mathematical thing where like the world just adds up, like there's something behind it that's like a conscious amalgamation or computer, or maybe that's just, how physics and maths work. Like I feel like you've had this question of like, is it really spirit and soul, or is there like a computer thing here happening and it's just physics and consciousness? Like, what is this, Like, what really is this? And I feel like this whole experience is gonna break this wide open. And it's meant to heal a part of you and bring that out of you. It's a part of you that's a mystic, a soul traveler, a journeyman of or journeywoman of consciousness. It's meant to come out. It's the time for it. You're ready. But you need to not act like everything's just physics and grounded stuff that's just earth and nothing beyond that matters or is real. And you should be wary of categorizing yourself as either insane, mentally ill, or crazy or stupid. because I don't know why I feel like that is going to insult that part of you that's coming out of you that wants to help you and be realized in your own psyche. So for mental health reasons, one, that's important, and two, also recognize in the world and then make you a better business person, better spokesperson, better family man or woman. I feel like there's a lot of masculine energy here though. I feel like most of y'all are either men watching or very headstrong women that are mostly in masculine energy. Maybe you're like a corporate badass as well, stuff like that, like your own self-made person, head of the household, or completely single, but like you're a powerhouse of a person. You don't need nobody type of thing, or don't want to, because you haven't found someone that could match your vibe, your frequency. You're very particular. You're very unique, is how it's coming across. So, but yeah, give into the woo-woo of this, like give into the spiritual soul side of it. Respect your soul, respect your consciousness, respect your unique individuality, and know that if you let this happen and come through, and two, one, you're going to be healthier for it. You're going to support yourself in this transition and not make yourself accidentally either sick or mentally unwell or other things, stressed and stuff, but also you are literally going to help your own personal development internally on many levels. And just spiritually, it's kind of like a part of you is trying to come down to be more present here. And you might want to kick it out thinking like you're becoming possessed or something, or that you can't shift and change into this like bigger view of who you are or whole view of who you really truly are, because it's going to mess up your business flow. Your transactions are going to go down economically. Something isn't going to go right with that deal. Look, if it does or doesn't, like that's the best situation currently right now. It's kind of like be confident and trust in your skills as well as like your soul signature, like because the true core of all of this is like the only reason you've been successful to begin with. It's just kind of like if you want to keep on going forward and being this badass, you need to grow and develop and become even better and bigger, and this is the way to do it type of thing. Nothing wrong with you, nothing bad or whatever. It's just like I think you're scared of this. Part of it is like, what if I'm so smart, I'm gonna be miserable over it, not gonna find anyone, not gonna be friends with anyone, or lose my whole empire, because I am getting like strong emperor empress vibes here as well. A person in charge. That's okay. Just let it shift, let it go, let it all come into view, and so you will get like the unique power of all of like the different sides of yourself, and your attributes will be more noticeable to everyone else in the room, and they will choose you every opportunity they will have. They're gonna be like, that person got it. I don't know what they got. I don't know how they got it. They fucking got it. I need them on my team. I need them to be my like employed, spokesperson, work like manager. I need them in charge. I need to raise their pay. I need to um, put them in front, basically. Like, yeah. This is pushing you towards your true north, which is basically like your full potential realized, in all that it is, with your strengths and weaknesses. But your weaknesses, if you realize them, they become part of the strengths. They don't match up as weaknesses anymore, because you know how to go with who you are and make the most out of it and all the rest, right? I feel like some of you get it because you also manage people, so yeah, let that electricity flow through you. Let that like lightning strike happen and just trust that it's not you going mental or crazy and it's not a bad thing. It's you having a spiritual experience that is there for you to become more of who you truly are and then shine in the world like that and like have your own personal, like real meaningful experience. And I think you're going to be surprised at seeing how many people you start connecting with and having common ground and a language to speak with. And you might even get a shit ton of fans. I'm gonna be real. You might have like people being like, good thing is like you'll know who to take on and who to whisk away. Because I feel like some people might try and use you, but I wouldn't try and use a person like this. No how, especially after like a spiritual experience. No, 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 no. They see through things. So yeah. Let yourself think the crazy thoughts of who you really are when you're dead is what's coming across. Because like the heart of the sky is literally like talking about the weird soul that you might be incarnate. So you think you're like Bob or Sally, right? But really you're also like this ancient Greek goddess or god incarnate, and you're human. Like you are a person. You don't need to like think you're better than anyone else or think like this or that. You just need to accept like, like I think I might be a part of them down here having a human experience or something. I don't freaking know. Or I was an animal. Now I became a human and I'm super smart. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, accept the narrative, give it space, give it love, give it compassion and conscious understanding. Communicate with yourself about it in a healthy way that's going to help you feel better because your body and your mental state and your emotional state those are going to show you signs if you're treating yourself the way you should be treated so you feel stable and you can come together into like the new form that you're supposed to, or if you're not and you're fucking with the flow of things basically. This was always meant to happen. You cannot escape this. If you're having this message, it's for a reason, even if you think I'm crazy for telling you this stuff, which some of you might be, and that's fine. That's cool. But yeah, if this happens, it was always meant to happen. You could have not escaped this. The point that you're getting this message beforehand is just here to help you not go, like fried. Because if you fight this, you can fry your brain. You can fry yourself and lose everything if you fight this off um, in many different ways. It's especially the way you're afraid of becoming. Whatever you're most afraid of becoming, that's the point of this. Like that's actually like the reason the reading is happening is so that doesn't happen. That worst fear of yours doesn't come alive. I don't know what that is. Everyone has it personal, so. And I can see a few examples here, so. Whew. I feel like some of you want to hear the examples. Mm, nah, I don't feel like saying it because we don't need it. The reading is done. Your curiosity will lead you to your own answers. You can have that question. Maybe we'll speak about it at some point. Maybe we won't. Maybe no. Maybe you'll see evidence or examples of it in the world following. Maybe you'll see people in the same place as you after you're done with this, and you're gonna be like, I could have ended up there, frick. Or that's their flavor of the same thing. Who would have thought? Wow. That's how spirituality usually goes. So yeah, especially the post like awakening phase of this stuff. So. Yet again, I appreciate you for having this reading and spending this time with me. This was really cool. This was really great and very much interesting. I feel like there's still something else like with these two cards. But we can also end it. But there's something interesting about those two cards. Motherfucker. Mm. Guides, fuck it. Let's get a few cards and then I'll end it up. Oh my lord. Oh my frickin' lord, damn. And that's some synchronicity energy right there, isn't it? Okay, okay, so you also have these cards, which we aren't gonna get into because they don't matter that much. This might just be for reference sake if you're into tarot or some other stuff. Um, So you have the Three of Pentacles and the Three Cups, as well as like the Magician and the Hierophant reversed. This is just reaffirming the same thing. Please, 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 very much please. And this is for you, not for me, because I don't know you or I don't live your life. Like I'm not gonna be feeling this stuff. You are though. You are. This is a very strong message. Um, don't keep building and escaping to work and escaping to people and just making your life about the day to day and everything's okay over and over and over again when this is going to happen and it's literally kind of like you being brought out of that to have a supernatural paranormal personal experience that no one else is ever going to see or experience, think or feel. You won't need to go yell it. You won't need to be appearing woo-woo or psychic or spiritual or start wearing, yoga pants into the office all the time. Like you will not need to do that. But you holding true as if like everything is just 1 10 10 as I said it. You holding true to life just being a certain way because you're forcing it to be that way and ignoring the real essence of life and its flow and where it's leading you and your unique individuality, right? As it's ordained, like as it's divine, as its sole purpose, right? As it is. It's not a good choice. It's literally not, because this is talking about like you disempowering yourself and just making yourself out to be a schmoke, just like a no one, just a person that's a person, and there's nothing deep about it. There's no meaning, there's no purpose, there's nothing. It's just whatever, you're Joe, you're Sally, and that's it. Um, and going by the status quo and just leaving it to be that. But it'll be so hard. It will be so hard because it'll be such a strong energy that just coming over you of like it'll feel like there's I don't know some paranormal energy in your home. There might be like a feeling of, as I said, possession. There might be a feeling of this weird attitude and like character side that comes out of you and you can't fight it. There might be visions that you just start getting and weird flickering lights and just orbs and I don't know, you might start hearing voices and noises and they're saying that there's a certain entity around you, literally. And you will just be ignoring it and it'll just get louder and louder and louder. It'll, like just imagine going down this road where it ends up. It ends up with a person feeling insane. But you're gonna try and escape it through work, building new projects, and creating new things, and going on in that, and just socializing and being around people like a person, and just feeling like a person and a people person. It's okay, we're all just human type of thing. And it's like, look, 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 look. This isn't gonna go away. You're gonna make it harder for yourself, and this is a warning on that to not choose the rational route because if you choose the rational route, eventually you're going to break down. The new projects you're going to start and the business like contracts you're going to draft up, none of them are going to work as well as you need them to or want them to. There's not going to be profit. And with people, you will feel like you're making stuff up or you're forcing situations to happen and you'll see the like you'll see people as well react to you like why are you making this a bigger thing than it is? And that'll make you feel really insignificant and insecure. Like your whole confidence is going to be going away in front of your eyes. Your business success is going to go away in front of your eyes. It's like don't go there. Don't do that. You're past the stage of being a normal nobody. You're past it. We need people to start realizing that they're souls on planet Earth having a human experience and that there's a deeper meaning behind that and you don't need to have an inflated ego because of it. You also don't need to bring yourself down to just be a human, a basic human. It's not healthy to ignore who you are or to make yourself out to be something you're not. Both of those are not a good choice to be had here, and you're meant to really create something. You're meant to really do something. Like, I don't know if it's a business, if it's pushing the business you're in and really making it like a global I can't remember that big conglomerate. Yeah, a global conglomerate, or just a worldwide institution or something. Um, there's some type of bigger like purpose, meaning, or contract, like spiritual contract, you gotta follow through with, and it's important you do so. Don't try and ignore it. Don't try and Joe Schmo it. It's not gonna work. Like I feel like some of you are still being like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna do it. You're well, but honestly, don't do it. It'll make you ill, sick, and it's right here. It's saying like you're not gonna have fun with people celebrating and just socializing, and you're also not gonna have success in those endeavors. Um, they're gonna succeed after you accept these two sides of yourself. So I feel like someone still wants me to drill this into you, but you're your own person, and I do not want to be harping on the same thing because I reiterated the same thing like 50 odd times, if not more. I've really repeated myself. We were done with this. Um, I think you're gonna realize that this is happening once you're gonna like for the people that are gonna do this, you're fine. You know you could have clicked off ages ago and you were just fine and it's just gonna happen. And it's like you're chicky pooky. You might just figure out some really crazy stuff about who you are on a soul level and then realize like the energies you connect with, the divine purpose you have and the deeper meaning and what that means and how no one's gonna see it, but you're gonna feel it. And the other ones that are gonna avoid this and you're gonna make it into a specific thing and whatever, um, you're gonna try and forget this reading. You're gonna try and go on with your life like nothing happened, and then you're also going to start noticing that it is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy once you're gonna start feeling weird. Weird things are gonna happen in your home and your house. Then you're gonna escape to creating more business deals and projects and whatever. Um, I feel like someone's clicking off, but that's fine. And also, you're going to start escaping to relationships. You might start having a lot of sexual encounters and other things and just trying to get on with your life. It's not going to be working. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here, even though there's ancestors and other energies being like, you need to push the message more, like tell them how it is. Look, you're a grown person, you're gonna choose what you're gonna choose. I can't change you. You can change yourself though. You can do what you need to do for your own best benefit. Um, and yeah, the recommendation is connect with your own self and God's spirit, and higher forces above, ancestry, and etc. to get the best benefit out of life. And yeah, if you don't, consequences ensue. Okay, I think they stopped pushing me, so I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for getting this reading. It was super hecka interesting. Leave me a like if you liked it or it helped or it was just really freaking weird for you. 'Cause why not? And if you want to see more of me, I do streams and it's in the link tree down below. And yeah, that's about it. I wish you well. You have a great, beautiful time and hopefully see you next time. Probably might not see most of you next time, which it's fine too. So, peace out. Have a good one. Hello, pile number 4. You might be having some hurt stuff happening. It's literally my heart just popped. And if it wouldn't have happened so particularly, and also I wouldn't have felt like it related to you, I wouldn't have said it. But yeah, you might be going through some crap. You might be also coming from pile 3, although that feels like it's your past. Not many of you, but some of you, one or two maybe, could be coming from previous pile. Why is it this way? I don't want it to be this way. No, 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 no. I don't know what's happening, buddies. Buddies, old pals. I don't want to have it be like this. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. What the hell is happening? I don't know if that's a song or not. I honestly, I just sang it to sing it. I don't know. Don't ask me. Um, yeah. Okay, so these are recommendation cards coming at you, and this is like about what you're fighting. So joy is the ultimate creator. I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. So, okay, let's cover your suggestions. Focus on the good things that are occurring. Focus on the things that are going to work out or are working out. And even if there's bad things going away or good things going away, all of them are kind of not serving you. They're not good for you. They're just toxic, most of them. And I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. So if you focus on the good stuff and you accept the shifts that are happening, and you understand that they're for your benefit, for your good, you will also start seeing how things are like improving quite rapidly, growing and developing, and in general how they're moving along for you. And also trust the process. Know that things are actually happening for your benefit. Like you are going to see the results you want. They're just not going to be in the places with the people that you have around currently that are falling away. That the shifts are happening. They were meant to happen for a very long time, and this is going to continue happening until it's done. Like you're already in the middle of it. You just didn't notice it was happening until it really got thick, or it really got intense, or it really got big. It's like this is you've invested into this occurring, is how it's coming across. I don't know what you did, but you did something. Some of you are reaping the rewards of the seeds you've sown, and you've sown some bad seeds. That's only for a few of you, but I feel like some of you are watching this are like, you have a sense you fucked up and you know you fucked up. Others of you, you think you fucked up, you didn't fuck up. So, I don't know. If you know you've been a bad apple and you've not done right by that, or you've kept doing bad stuff, bad or manipulative, toxic, just doing some fucking transgressions against the people you love, stuff like that, then you know. But for most of you, this is good. This is happening for you. I mean, it's happening for you even if you messed up and you did toxic shit, honestly. It's just like this is the opportunity you have to shift out of the toxic behavior you've always indulged in and you've said was right and you just kind of bitched and moaned and like judged everything else by it. Um, this is forcing you to become a better character, and if you don't become a better character, then you will suffer more consequences. If you're gonna try stealing, conniving, hitting, hurting others, and etc., this is gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know to what extent worse. Spirit's gonna be the judge of that. I'm just the messenger of the message here. But for y'all, I feel like someone yelled at me, being like, "You know the freaking shit I'm hitting. You know more than you're letting on." Sit down. Chill out. I don't know. Freaking work on your stuff. You don't need to freak out. Life is life, yeah, but we are our own masters and creators as well. You can't just be blaming other people for whatever it is, whether it's about tarot reader or other stuff. Coming back to the people that actually are having a good transformation and letting go toxic people like that, and you know, have chosen to elevate, but it's like it's painful, it's harmful because you've been playing by the rules that were stacked against you with the people that were also not for you for so long. You've gotten attached. It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome as well as like withdrawals from your own toxic behaviors and like, people that you invested into and you thought you could love forever, but then you realize we're just out there to get you or take from you or own you or your life and energy and essence, money, whatever it is. Maybe they never changed and you were changing for years and it's come to a crescendo where you got to go on to keep changing and bettering yourself and they are staying where they're at and being negative and mean and blaming you for and blaming you for the downcomings they're facing currently. Whatever the current situation is on that whole balance of things, you are doing everything right if you're choosing for your own well-being, health, and sanity, as well as life development, right, to go away to greener pastures. You were always meant to do this. There's a lot of people leaving this type of energy behind, and they are commended by spirit for being loving, graceful, brave, courageous, and finally letting go of these toxic ancient attachments of just negativity and fake positivity and fake support. I need to read a couple of things. So today I woke up and I saw two posts and I'm like, well, I already know this, but I guess I feel like it's for something and for someone. So I'm gonna pull them up for people that this is going to be relevant for, as well as I'm gonna read it off. So boop boop boop. My face is gonna go away for a moment, so don't worry about that. Fuck, I deleted them. Motherfucker. Okay, it's coming back. Okay. Can I save the image or like this right away? Yeah, I can. Okay. Just. Oh no, it is there. I just couldn't see it. Okay. So I'm reading it as a bit of an intuitive thing. You guys really don't like the truth of this because these were close to home people. These were people that you really mattered to you. But yeah, we're gonna keep reading in a moment, but this is one of them. Those who love you don't clip your wings. They add another feather so you can fly even higher. So that's one of the messages. Basically, they will not take away from you, right? They will only improve your life. And then the other one is when someone says, after all I've done for you, they're revealing that what they did for you was not for you at all, but for their own need to control you. Their generosity was a contract with hidden terms. I'm sending you love and hugs because this is kind of. It's still sad, isn't it? Isn't it? So, even though these people mattered, even though you love them, even though they really were important to you in your life and what has, occurred and everything has stuck out to you, they were playing by different rules and intentions, and they were having games around your success, your energy, your valuable intent and time and just care and love, if they weren't there to actually support you, if they weren't there to actually feed you positive reinforcement, if they weren't hearing you out, if they weren't listening or asking questions, right, in a way that was helping you express yourself, show up more for yourself, show up with who you truly are, if they were constantly just arguing and like putting you down and mimicking is a big thing. Like they weren't actually nice. They were just mimicking you so they can actually like be around you and look like the same as you, right? But they weren't actually the same as you. They were just using you for their own benefit, and they were keeping you close because of also a certain dynamic of like family tradition, best friends, friends from childhood, this or that. It's insane how many years people can spend with backstabbers at their closest mitts. And another sad thing I recently heard on YouTube, which is well put. I hear it regularly every few years, but it's still kind of meh to say. 28 might be a significant number, but it is betrayal never comes from the enemy. And I mean, my brain's always like loopty-doopty, like, upside down, inverted, and right side up, and all the right, like, all the weird ways that it goes. But betrayal potentially that's come basically just from the enemy. They just look like the freaking friends and family that you really care for and give a shit about. And until you realize that, it doesn't seem like betrayal, right? It seems like this and that and whatever. It looks like loyalty or just problems or just like people, suffering the human condition or they can't get out of their freaking way or there's excuses around like what it is until you realize no, it was always betrayal, or no, they were always just the enemy. It's hard to accept when it is people you spend years with, life after life with, you invest into to actually get something from and you never got it, and now you have this sick attachment style of either codependency or dependency or um, trying to like whine for their love, for their respect, for their, support and whatever, and you keep doing that for them, so they somehow respond in the same kind to you. Look, if someone doesn't respect the point of you just being you, and you need to be people pleasing, nice, constantly nice to them to even prove that you're kind or loving or that you care about them, and they always antagonize you, attack you, put you down, um, do all of these weird things where it's kind of like you're always just trying your best and they're always just like acting like they're getting the worst of it while literally lashing out at you, putting you down, and saying that, if only this and that and you get your shit together or whatever. They're not your friends, they're not your family. It doesn't matter that, you spend that time with them. Like, it hurts, it sucks, but does if you also didn't treat them that way, never, if you never did any of that stuff to them, like, were they really your friends and family? Were they really that important? And this also is for people that have kids together with certain partners. Look, your kids are going to be happier if you leave the toxic situation. Otherwise, your kids are going to end up in the same place. Make a beautiful, great example of where they should go and what they should create for themselves, regardless of the status or the status quo or the roles in the relationships or the societal like dynamics and brainwashing. Give them the right and the freaking strength to choose what is right for them, to leave abuse, to have that example of being strong characters or people that do right, not just by them and their mental sanity and emotional well-being, but also by their kids's, right? By their freaking communities that actually matters. Because you can mess up a whole freaking vibe of family by having a fucked up spouse, for example, right? Everyone else is fine, but it's just that like person you married. It's just a contract, it's just a ring. It's fuck the vows. Just if you're suffering, you are so important, you need to leave. Like it's for your benefit, it's for your good. I'm obviously like I'm not married. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do, and I understand that like attachments are deep when it's who you create families with or who you were grown up with or other things, right? But I'm I'm speaking from the point of passion of like loving people, giving themselves away so far so much until they even break down. They're not themselves. They're not really. They're not feeling like people by the end of it, and it is painful. It's hurtful, because we see a lot of it, and certain people feel bad for doing what is right for their mental sanity and well-being. So you've been in deep like contracts, you've been in deep connections, you've been in a deep loop and repetitive like sense of energy through in multiple incarnations. This is also an ancient energy of toxicity and attachment and just like fear and doubt and self-neglect, as well as like having that spread out into like a collective social dynamic of abuse and use and kind of like survival of the fittest and other things. And it is going to keep continuing on unless like people that are actually above it take themselves out of it and go above and beyond the pen, the pig pen, or the limitations of these dynamics and social groups and just common brainwashing. It's sad how some people may be held hostage by their values of deep integrity and love, but that deep integrity and love extends primarily to the person themselves. That's their thing, right? And then it extends to the people surrounding them. If, they don't have that, they don't have that and create other dynamics. And you're right to leave it as you may for your own benefit. So, yeah. Um, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love, and my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So I feel like some of y'all think that like what's happening to you is deserved and that this is just a reflection of you not having enough uh, I don't know, and you not doing enough for those people, and that's why they're treating you this way, instead of just accepting the point of like, no, you just need to leave. Like it's you will start feeling safe, happy, and fulfilled when you're in a different place away from these people and you've cut the cords energetically, you've thrown away their stuff, mentally, you've purged the associations that you have with them, and instead you create positive, loving associations with your own self as well as the people that actually are loving and caring. I feel like some of you have friends that have told you this, or have warned you about this, or have like said like, "Hey, why are you with that dickhead? Like, why are you with that douchebag? You're so much better than they are in so many different, many ways. You deserve better. Like, why? Why do you keep falling for the same guy or the same girl? You know, I feel like some of you even had that tough conversation of like, leave them, your kids will be happier. Don't stay for the kids. That's a myth. And I feel like currently right now in the collective especially and many conversations, that's a big phrase flying around everywhere. It's like no one stays for the kids. Everyone stays out of obligation. Most of the time the kids, no matter the age, are like, yes, please leave. Can I stay with the healthy parent though? That's the only part they really care about is which parent are they gonna stay with? Is it the good one? Because they have the good and the bad one in an abusive relationship. And a lot of the time, the abused parent is the good one they want to stay with. And the other parent is usually the one they want to get away from. And sometimes it's a bit more murkier than that, depending, if maybe both of the parents are toxic or some other crap is happening, or you have your own accountability and responsibility to take up for some certain actions you have, but ultimately they know and sense that they would be safer and healthier off with only one of their parents. Even if it's maybe the more toxic one, it'd be easier if the toxic one didn't have this constant abusive exchange in front of them there the whole entire time, right? And they would just be working or going out and partying and leaving them off to be in their own world, living their own life. As sad as it is, some teens and kids would prefer that because at least they don't need to hear fighting, yelling, and other stuff. So I'm very much sorry for anyone going through this, but I feel like you are at a better point of like getting out of this and getting through into a better experience. You just need to trust yourself and understand that like when you really do focus on what is healthy for you and you accept that shift and change and transformation, you're gonna see the support of the universe as well coming back at you and your life being easier and your world transforming. Yeah, you might need to start from zero in some ways, move house, move place, move town, or get a new job, or ask your friends to be that supportive hand instead of like certain family members, right? Maybe you got to do it all on your own. Maybe you're a complete like single person and this is happening with other people that aren't just family, right? Or aren't family that you're responsible for. Whatever the situation is, like you'll find that balance when when you start respecting yourself and treating yourself with love, trusting the process, and then accepting the shift and change that's happening through within the universe because of it. It's you're not doing anything wrong. They're treating you wrong, and there's nothing you can do for them to start treating you right. They would have already done that. by now especially, but they've never done that. They've only doubled down, haven't they? They've only made it worse. And every time you went beyond and you've ascended or you've gotten to a point where it's like I'll be even better and better and better, they've only gotten worse and worse and worse. Because like you just get that further away from them into your own life and becoming someone that you're meant to be. And because of the threat of that, and because they're not gonna change, um, they try and keep and shackle you by being that toxic embodiment, and making you feel, ashamed, connected to them, entitled to the experience, like you're the one in the wrong and they aren't. And after years and years, that really does sink in, even though it's the biggest bullshit with the biggest red flags, and you have a whole history book or a few of how that is not true. So keep focusing on the good things. Understand that you are going to get the support you need and that things are going to improve and this is getting better with you choosing yourself each and every time. But you need to keep going for yourself and support yourself and understand that this is a big personal purge in every way, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, in terms of your life and in terms of energy too. Like what is the big chaos and shifting that is happening down here? It's happening up there too. Um, it's happening up there too. So yeah, I just shuffled out the fucking cards that was supposed to pull on, but should I just no keep this deck? It'll come back. Don't worry. Just trust it. Just trust it. I've been doing that. I've kept doing that, and it keeps annoying me because I don't know. I don't do it often, but sometimes when I do it, it's like I know that sometimes the message changes, but other times it needed to happen, and a third time it's kind of like, there we go. I don't know. It shifts the message, or it doesn't shift the message, or it kind of changes a little bit of it. Okay, so I'm gonna trust this card because I've seen it kind of flop out when the deck almost fell out on the floor. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's just bring all of them down like this. I thought maybe we're gonna fill out the bottom, but no, we're not. Look, you need to express something to yourself because I keep feeling pain, like really bad pain. Stomach as well. Like there's just pain and a lot of emotion and a lot of unease, and I feel like I've helped a little bit with that because of the validation that you've heard as we went through this. Um, but you need to really express this to yourself. You need to write this out. You need to make a video on your phone to yourself, and even if you don't watch it and delete it, it's still gonna help you alleviate the point that you're so suffocated and like your expression is strangled basically like you're being limited and kept in a certain frame of mind and a certain energy through the intense abuse and neglect of the situation, and you're afraid to speak out and acknowledge it for yourself because then it'll be real and you'll need to move. If you do it, you'll need to move. I like how everything went into focus when we said that. Like, I think now you're in a in between stage. You're doing the best you can. But you have doubts of like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is not right. Maybe this is not happening. It's like, this has been happening for years. And for months, this has been coming up to this crescendo, and you keep avoiding the truth and reality of it. You keep avoiding the point of it all. Your next move is to look at the facts, accept that you need to go out on your own to do something that's good for you and it's gonna feel a bit shady or like you're left out in the cold, but really you're leaving out like the worst of it behind you. You know, you're breaking through where you were like chained and kept away. And you're really kind of finding your own strength in it instead of like instead of like it's really weird. I do want to like see what this card is about, but I need a QR scanner, which is my phone, which is here. So I'll end like I'll have that somewhere at the end, or maybe I'll just like record a little bit of a talking bit about me reading the meaning of this card for you. 'Cause I can't do it, and I doubt he put it on the frickin' like site of his. So it would be nice if he did. I don't think he did. I'm not gonna check it because I'll lose my train of thought in channeling. So um it is scary to feel like this weird confusion, but that's because you're still around the people that confuse you and abuse you, or the circumstance and environments that really like keep you stagnant and kind of doubting yourself. Whereas, right now it's kind of like look at the facts, face the point that you're gonna need to go out on your own into a mysterious new beginning, and you are being prepared for that, you're being ready for that, and you are gonna have the support of the universe. You might need to like really face your shadow and how you've limited yourself and said that you needed these people and that you weren't going to be anything without them. You might need to accept that you need to be a little bit calculated with your finances, but you can spend the money you need to change this situation. If maybe you need to save up right now, start thinking about the things that are going to actually support your growth. Like what is like instead of like I don't have the money, say like I will have the money, or I have the money I need currently to take care of this thing, and then I know that if I spend this money on the things I need for myself, I will be supplied more money. I will take those chances. I will look at those job suggestions. I will accept that quick cash from these little avenues, either like babysitting or hanging coats at that event, or helping at the bowling rink, or I don't know, maybe betting some money on that billiards like game next week. I know I can make it big. I might cheat a bit and be like, "Hey yo, let's get drunk. I'm putting down this amount. What are you bitches putting down?" And you like, do a gamble, but you win really good because you know you're really good at billiards. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you gotta trust the process, and you gotta start reaffirming the process and that you're going out for you, doing your thing, because you are in a unfavorable position that they're trying to make it look worse, but really you're at ground zero. You're at the blank slate position where from here on out anything can happen, but it does depend on how you feed your reality with the words you speak, how you treat yourself and how you feel and what you think about yourself, and how you either don't give in to the people surrounding you or you do give in to them because it will feel a certain different way. Um, Even when you're by yourself, right? Are you giving into their thoughts or the feelings they have about you, to the animosity? Are you opening up your phone to read up on the WhatsApp drama on the family? Or are you just letting yourself actually like go out on your own and figure out your own life and take life by the reins, and really accept that this is where your joy lies. This is where you're gonna be happier for it. Um, if you've already started doing this, great, keep on going. I think this is just a reminder to stay positive and to not give in to the limiting self-talk or the doubt of the future because it's unknown and you're actually doing something for you without them instead of having this like fucked up plan you're following that never comes through, and they just keep making you imagine that it's the right thing to do. Because I do feel like some of you have been really groomed for this stuff. And yeah, accept the truth that this is really making you become the person you were always meant to be, and it's gonna like life is gonna bloom. Your life is gonna bloom. You are blooming already just by being in the circumstance of like accepting and muting and transforming this pain into something that is just like you accepting the facts and you moving on with your life and yourself and being on your own team for once, instead of like giving yourself away to everyone and everyone like disrespecting that and trampling that when they're so hooked on you and dependent on you that they really like they can't live without you. That's why they're putting you down so much. Because if you're down that bad, you won't go anywhere. You won't see your potential. You won't see how life can treat you better. But if you stop giving yourself away and cutting your the parts of you over to them, right? You'll realize like you've always had it in you. They've just been the people in the way. And there's a reason for all of this. There's a purpose, right? Whatever that is, it's old, it's ancestral, um, you're a part of a bigger collective, like really transforming, and things are gonna work out for you. Just keep on believing. Um, reassess, recess, rest and rediscover. I wanted to say like that this is reassess the seriousness, which I was seeing it like that. So I don't know. I think it's like reassess how you're looking at it and stop making it about how you're losing something, because and everything's bad or wrong for you, because actually you're gaining your own liberty and freedom over people that have made you feel like a certain way. You're not losing something if all you're losing is toxicity and abuse, right? So, but recess, rest and rediscover. If you currently are right now in a pause or position of rest, use it to your benefit the best you can to gain confidence to start making new moves and going away. Yeah, they're gonna try and chase you through and do something for you or to you or keep you back and down, but you can also just like not engage and keep them away and just stay in your lane wherever the peace is, wherever you're safe. And then once you realize and gather yourself together, you can keep on moving and going to where you need to the greener pastures. You're in a position where it's like check the facts so you can keep on moving on and do not look back, do not doubt yourself, do not give in to the peer pressure. 'Cause this shit is fucking ending. This is done. This is done. If you just went through this, this is just clarifying and reaffirming that you're in the right position and you're doing really well for yourself. And you are going to come back from this. You are protected. These beings and people are kept away from you, one, and you're gonna have something to show for it, but also you are gonna feel light. You're gonna feel like you can actually express yourself and like show your heart, for what you've been through and have like compassion and support, and people are gonna be cheering you on for the story you have. It might not quite feel like it, not always, but you are really doing really well. In a way, even though it's in the thick of it, it's in the, difficulty of it. So I feel like that is enough. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm gonna quickly pause and read out the unknown card for you. You will not be seeing me for that. If you want to do that yourself, go scan that QR code. Maybe it's gonna work. It should work. I feel like it fucking should work. Also, go get his cards. These are amazing as always. These are really cool, really good, really nice vibe as you can see. Um, he's on Twitch and Instagram, and yeah, I'm gonna quickly pause and read the cards. So okay, so I figured out there's a PDF booklet. I just need to get on my PC. That being said, though, this card says, the unknown, exploring a new world. Oh, you notice us. So, are you ready to explore the depths of your imagination now? No biggie. It's just a world of infinite possibility and limitless potential. This card is about stepping across the boundary that divides the known and unknown, or better yet, lingering in that border zone where monsters thrive. All of these like things are monsters and they're not bad. They're just, that's the word for the creatures of the deck, just FYI. So this is also the card of divinely childlike energy with an exhilarating sense of wonder, a vast imagination, and a healthy connection to play. The monsters are waiting for you just beyond the known and familiar. Will you accept their extended hand and follow your curiosity, or is it fear of big scary monsters getting in the way? That's a good one. That's exactly what we were talking about, man. Yeah, you're ready. You're definitely ready. Key themes: playful, deep, reimagine, foundations, go, alternative, infinite, playground, youth, transcend, vision, internal, distant, dark, curious, gray, imagination, and fun. Yeah. So go for it. You deserve it. Everything will work out. Just don't let your fear of monsters keep you away from monsters. That's a good name for all of the beings, isn't it? But thank you so very much for getting this reading. I hope you know I hope you have luck with this, and if this helped you, please let me know with a like. And if not, that's fine too. I wish you the very best in whatever you go through and however it goes. And yeah, if you like my stuff and content, there's more of my stuff and content in the link tree down below. So yeah, blessings be with you. Peace out.